Zippity doo dah, zippity day, my oh my, it's a wonderful day. It's Friday. It's Friday. It's Friday. Fourth day of October 2019. Thanks for starting your day with us. Weekend is almost here. In fact, if you stand on your tiptoes, you can actually see the weekend. From here and from Mother Nature's perspective, it looks pretty darn good. Certainly better than last weekend. We had all that rain and those record cold temperatures. Much different story this weekend. That all-important weekend weather forecast is coming up. Although temperatures will still be a little bit below normal, it's still going to be a very nice weekend. A lot of outdoor activities going on. People are trying to cram in as much outdoor activities as they possibly can this time of the year before the weather really turns. We'll let you know all the weekend events that are coming up, and there are a lot of them when we get to the news. And there is a lot of news. It's an adult portion of news for you on this Friday, but we will not check identification. I understand the Seahawks won last night. I was watching the baseball playoffs. But we'll talk Seahawks. We'll preview all the high school prep football action that's coming up tonight and all through the weekend in the world of prep sports. We will be in Kashmir to cover the OMAC Pioneers and the Kashmir Bulldogs in their first league game of the year. We're looking forward to that. So if you can't make it out to Kashmir and you want to watch a little high school football tonight, you can do so right here on the NCW Life channel. Plus, Mike McNally's got an opinion. He always does. We have the obscure holiday, today in history, birthdays, and towards the back half of this program, my conversation with a couple of really cool ladies who need to come on this show more often. Dory Foster is the CEO with Wenatchee Valley YMCA, and Lisa Melvin is in charge of CASA. And those two great organizations, the YMCA and CASA, are combining forces for the Hike for a Cause, which is tomorrow at Walla Walla Point Park. And you want to participate in that. We'll talk to those two lovely ladies, Dory and Lisa, in the back half of the show. Let's do it. Let's get going. We got a lot to do. We got another one of those, a 5-pound show and a 4-pound bag to put it in. Let's do it. Let's go around the valley with the Valley View cameras, courtesy of Localtel Sky-Fi high-speed wireless setup. And the snow in those upper elevations from last weekend continues to recede like my hairline. The cross camera is zoomed in and tilted up just a little bit. Pan, tilt, and zoom, PTZ. And as I mentioned before, that is a 4K camera, which has 4 times the resolution as opposed to a regular high-definition camera. And you can tell that is just an incredible view. And the mighty Columbia getting the job done on a beautiful October morning. The sun came up just now, 7:04. Sunrise, sunset at 6:34 tonight. That buys us exactly 11 and a half hours of daylight on this Friday. Camera 2, where are we off to, Megan? I don't know. She gets to decide. Rude? Hey, wow. I can barely make it out, but that's Rude Canyon. That's way up there. There's still, it looks to me, and it's hard for me to tell because of the studio lights, but there's still some patches of snow in that general area. The sun is beginning to climb up over Rude Canyon. Thanks for joining us on this Friday morning. Beautiful. We live in such a gorgeous area. I love it when first-timers come here. I've never been to the Wenatchee Valley before, and they just go, wow. This place is neat, and it actually entices people to come here, and I have no problems with that. Camera 3. Hello and good morning to Rock Island. Way off in the distance, you can see Clockham, you can see the Mission Ridge area, and of course there's that snow was a lot lower not that long ago. It continues again to slowly melt away. We're going to be, by the way, lower 70s maybe by Monday. We have a little high pressure ridge that's going to come in. I didn't think we were going to get to 70 again, but it's a distinct possibility, although the temperatures over the weekend will still be below normal. Good morning, Rock Island. Get out and get your golfing in before they shut down the Rock Island Golf Course. Very walker friendly. I like to walk when I play golf. I play better that way, and it's good exercise. And one of the best walking courses in north central Washington is the Rock Island Golf Course. Camera 4 is a slow dissolve or a quick cut, if you will, to Bill E. Goat. USA pulled way, way back. A few high clouds there. Clouds are thinning out as we speak. We'll have partly sunny skies for the most part today. A little cloudier farther to the north. There's a little weak system up near the Canadian border that's sliding through, which is why we have more clouds up in the Pateros, Brewster, Bridgeport, Omak, Okanagan area than we do have down here in the Wenatchee Valley. That pulled way back. Good morning to our friends at Billy Goat. An absolutely stunning view there. I sure wish we could show the Methow Valley, but we can't because the support tower and the guy wires that hold the camera up in the air, that's where it's at. And if you pan it over to the left, all you get is a big aluminum pole, which is not nearly as visually exciting as what we see behind my left shoulder. 5 minutes after the hour from the National Weather Service, let's take a look at the forecast. And we're looking at partly sunny skies today. Mixture of clouds and sun, 50-50 roughly. Going to be dry, no rain in the forecast, no wind, excuse me, in the forecast. We'll top off at about 61 degrees. The clouds will be thickening up and driving in tonight, 45 for the overnight low, but again, no rain and or wind in the forecast this evening. Saturday morning, you'll wake up to some clouds, but by mid-morning, the sun will be coming up. By the afternoon, it'll be quite sunny on Saturday. So morning clouds, afternoon sun. We'll top off at 62. Those highs that you see there, 61, 62, 63, right through the weekend is below normal. Yesterday's high, Thursday's high was 60. Our normal high should have been 69, so 7 consecutive days now. Our high temperature has been below normal, oftentimes well below normal. But as you can see, things aren't looking too bad. Dry weather looking good. An upper ridge is going to come in on Sunday and on Monday. It's going to start flattening out, though, Monday afternoon. And that's going to allow another weather system to come in on Tuesday. Tuesday and Wednesday, a storm system is going to drop down from the Gulf of Alaska, which is going to cool us way down and give us a chance of rain. Late Monday on into Tuesday. The big change is going to be on Tuesday. As you can see, we go from 71 to 61 in a matter of just one day. And kind of like it was last week, it's going to usher in quite a bit of cold air, which is going to become trapped here in the valley floor. So even though we'll have lots of sunshine on Wednesday and Thursday, it's not going to be very warm. We'll be lucky to get to 60. So by far, the nicest couple of days in that forecast period is Sunday with sunshine at 63. And again, Monday, for the most part, it'll be sunny until we get later in the afternoon. And we should be in the lower 70s by the time we get to Monday. But that high pressure ridge is not very strong, and it's not a dome type of a high pressure ridge. It's going to be flattening out and allowing that weather system to come in on Tuesday. All in all, not a bad forecast at all. Weekend looks good. Saturday and Sunday, I'm liking it. Again, Saturday, just to recap, for tomorrow, which is a busy outdoor day. Clouds Saturday morning, lots of sunshine Saturday afternoon, and that high of 62, still a little on the cool side. So there you go. It's from the National Weather Service. That way, if you don't like the weather, you can blame the government. It's 8 minutes after the hour. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we have your Friday morning news, and there's a lot to get to. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley live this morning from Studio 10 in downtown Wenatchee on the NCW Life Channel.
My first experience with CVCH, I had to come in with my daughter by myself with a cut in my hand that required stitches. And the care and compassion at CVCH was really significant, that they took the care and compassion and made me feel more as a human instead of just a patient there. The care they have for their community all around, inside and outside the clinic, is what I feel like is different. And that's what makes me want to come back to CVCH and recommend them to my friends and family.
Hi, my name is Jim Heinlein, independent agent and owner at Springwater Insurance Group, formerly known as Senior Insurance Services. And we recently decided to make that name change because we're offering so many different other types of insurances in addition to Medicare education and enrollment like we've been doing for 15 years. So if you have questions about Medicare or any other forms of insurances, give us a call at Springwater Insurance Group, 888-2600, or visit us at any of our 5 locations.
And welcome back at 9 minutes after the hour on this Friday. We have fair skies and 43 degrees, mixture of clouds and sun today. Highs will be in the lower 60s, but a nice weekend coming our way. And we start out with this morning's news with sad news. Christian Johnson, the assistant fire chief for Okanagan County Fire District Number 3, died Wednesday from injuries he sustained fighting the spring coulee fire back in the beginning of September. Johnson, an Okanagan resident, had been at Harborview Medical Center in Seattle since September 1st. He suffered burns to more than half of his body. He was 55 years old. Johnson and another firefighter were outside of a brush truck when he was overcome by the flames. The other firefighter, he was able to escape. The spring coulee fire burned 142 acres before it was being contained. The State Commissioner of Public Lands, Hillary Franz, said in a statement yesterday, quote, "Everyone at DNR is holding the family of Assistant Chief Christian Johnson in our hearts. Christian, an Army veteran and a member of the Okanagan County Fire District Number 3, is a hero." In other news this morning, Douglas County Sheriff's Office says it has identified a second suspect in that September 27th robbery at a Banks Lake campsite. That's where one man was arrested after being run over by a getaway car. Kai M. Shelton, he's 31 years old. He's being sought for allegedly helping to steal 2 portable Honda generators from the campsite. Now, the campers returned to find their site being looted. They chased the group of suspects who fled in 2 cars. One suspect, Joseph Aaron Lacey of Yakima, 19 years old, was run over by one of the 2 getaway vehicles. He was later arrested. Deputies say Shelton was among the suspects who fled. Anybody spotting Shelton or the vehicles or having any kind of related information should call the Douglas County Sheriff's Office. Well, here the Wenatchee Valley crews have been busy since September 16th, removing arsenic-contaminated rocks and soil from the popular Saddle Rock hiking area. Big and small dump trucks have been hauling out the mining waste for transport and landfill in East Wenatchee as part of the first phase of the cleanup. Now, hiking across the Saddle Rock area, that trail, the main trail, remains open, but you have to go to either the Dry Gulch Trailhead or the trailhead near the Wenatchee Racquet and Athletic Club. The main hiking trail will stay closed through the end of November. And by the way, speaking of Saddle Rock is now officially called Saddle Rock. Yeah, the state's Board of Natural Resources on Tuesday formally designated that distinctive dual rock outcroppings under the Saddle Rock name, while the hilltop on which they rest is now known as Saddle Gap. On some older maps, the hill was known as Squaw Saddle, derived from an outdated and derogatory term for Native American women. The Saddle Rock and Saddle Gap names are now official as far as the state's concerned, but the U.S. Geological Survey still have to make the corrections on all of their federal mapping systems. That's where Google Maps and other guide services harvest their data. Well, there's one special variety of frog that's rare in Washington State, but it's even rarer when it comes in a different color. There are only between 700 and 1,500 northern leopard frogs in the state. All of them reside in the North Potholes Reservoir near Moses Lake. Now, when biologists and volunteers with the Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife surveyed the frog population back in August, they came across an unusual example of the species. Wildlife biologist Sean Doherty explains.
Typically, northern leopard frogs are either green or brown. We have both varieties, and green is the recessive, brown is dominant. During the course of the survey, we stumbled across a blue frog. And so at first I wasn't quite sure that it was the right kind of frog. It was just bizarre. So then we took some pictures like, gee whiz, that's really cool, and then shared it amongst some colleagues, and we're like, wow, that is actually really cool, and that's surprisingly rare. So
Northern leopard frogs are an endangered species in Washington state and species of concern at the federal level. The blue frog's mutation is exciting, but chances of passing on that trait aren't particularly good. According to Doherty, about 90% of the frogs die before they reach maturity. Housing for the Wenatchee Valley's homeless population is the purpose of a new public-private program that will soon be administered here. New legislation allows a larger portion of local sales tax revenue to be returned to the cities and counties for that purpose. Chelan County Commissioner Kevin Overbay says Chelan and Douglas counties and the cities of Wenatchee and East Wenatchee are collaborating on where and how the funds can best be used.
And that funding will be able to be utilized. I'll use the example of the Women's Resource Center. They were able to get a $3 million housing grant to build permanent supportive housing, an additional 20 units at Parkside. And a lot of times those grants come with a match funding requirement. So we'd be able to utilize these funds for a match fund requirement, be able to use these funds for private-public partnerships to improve housing, to improve low-income housing pieces. There's a development currently right now that's being built by Catholic Family Charities on the backside of the Viewdale property, 67 units, and the commission had an opportunity to go ahead and provide funding assistance to that as well as part of the funding that came out of a 2018 bill 1570 that increased the fees on recording by $25, and so we earmarked those dollars to go towards that to help them get a secure $12 million grant from Commerce for that $15 million project. And so this gives an opportunity for communities to put into capital facilities to help with the housing crisis that we have currently.
Overbay says data collected earlier in this year shows a slight decrease in the homeless population. He attributes that to the variety of services and programs that are offered locally. Revenue sharing agreements between the county and the city pay for programs that aid the homeless and low income. Well, back on September 5th, Grant County Sheriff's deputies spent the better part of the morning looking for a cougar Here you see a deputy had seen roaming through Ephrata. Cameron Quist was able to spot the animal as soon as he stepped out of his home. He lives in the northwest part of Ephrata. He also got a first-hand look at a deputy in pursuit of the cougar, as you see there. Now, the cougar eluded capture, made its way back to the wild, where it blew a 32-point lead to UCLA. Well, this Saturday, the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society will be participating in the statewide shelter open house. It's from 11 to 3 tomorrow, and our very own expert on this topic, Megan McPherson, filed this report.
Hey guys, Megan here with the NCW Life Channel. We're here with Jenny, the volunteer coordinator at the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society, and you guys are having a statewide shelter open house this Saturday, correct?
We are. It's from 11 to 3 here at the shelter. We have PetSmart on site, and they're going to be handing out goodies. We have goodie bags for adopters, and we have a big adoption special going on, and that's cats and dogs 6 months and older. They're $1 off for every day they've been here in our shelter. So we're really hoping some of our longer staying animals will get homes.
And as I mentioned at the top of the program, I went through our community calendar on our website, and which is populated by Megan. There are so many things going on this weekend. You will not be bored if you want to go out and about, and we always wrap up our Friday newscast with weekend events, and here you go.
Here's a look at what's on tap this weekend around the Wenatchee Valley. Join the Wenatchee Valley Museum and Cultural Center for the first Friday public opening of the My Sky exhibit. All ages are encouraged to come experience the fun of hands-on science. Get your hands on an enormous 5-foot wide model of the moon. Explore close-up images of what the sun looked like on your birthday last year and invent your own new constellations. The exhibit will introduce you to scientists, artists, and other people who are inspired by the sky above us. Admission is free all day starting at 10 a.m. on the first Friday of every month, and hours are extended to 8 p.m. with light refreshments and snacks offered after 5. The 10th annual Mahogany and Merlot Festival is happening this Friday through Sunday in Chelan. This is a fun-filled weekend of hydroplane exhibitions on Lake Chelan, including vintage boats, antique and classic boats, classic cars, a vendor village in Don Morse Park, a waterfront beer garden, Friday night car show and street dance, and many more fun activities. Apple Days takes place this Friday through Sunday at the Kashmir Museum and Pioneer Village. Kashmir's annual Fall Family Festival will feature the music of Hank Kramer and Mariachi Wenatchee, the acrobats of the Wenatchee Youth Circus, black powder shootouts with the shooters, face painting, food, and fun. The judging of the apple pie contest is at 6 p.m. on Friday, and pie drop-off is from noon to 5 p.m. that same day. Hike for a Cause is this Saturday from 11:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Walla Walla Point Park. Walk, bike, run, or skate, whether it's 1 mile or 11 miles. This joint event with CASA and the YMCA has a collective goal of impacting 5,000 children by the end of the year. The event goal is to raise awareness for outreach, programs, and services to children and families in the Wenatchee Valley. Funds raised will support the YMCA's youth and teen programs and scholarship funds, as well as enable CASA to continue to provide child advocates for abused and neglected children in the community. There will be games and family fun, as well as prizes for Best All-Around Family Costume Theme, Best Costume, Best Dog Costume, and Best Kids Costumes. And finally, the 3rd annual Superhero Walk is this Sunday from noon to 3 at Riverwalk Park. This walk brings the community together for one single goal: to raise funds for continued financial support, scholarships, programs, gas cards, education, and play opportunities for kids with cancer, special needs, and chronic illness. No registration is required, and the walk is by donation. The walk starts at 12:15 p.m. and there will be family-friendly games, food, prizes, and fun. Dress up as your favorite superhero and bring your family and some cash to help support our warriors. For more information on this weekend's events and others, visit the community calendar at ncwlife.com.
Lots of cool stuff going on, and as I mentioned at the top of the hour, the weather looks pretty good. Quite a bit of sunshine and on Saturday, and quite a bit of sunshine on Sunday, with temperatures just a little below normal. One final item of business. It took a couple of months, but the Waste Management Wenatchee Transfer Station has finally reopened, so I've been waiting to make that trip to the Wenatchee Transfer Station to get rid of your garbage. You can finally do it. My guess is they'll be real busy tomorrow. We're going to be real busy all day today. We'll be putting together newscasts, and we'll be putting together a football broadcast tonight. We're looking forward to it, so check out the news. Jefferson Robbins filling in for Grant Olson this week. The news with Jefferson and Eric will come your way at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock tonight. You can also watch it on demand whenever you darn feel like it. If you missed yesterday's news, you can go to our website and watch it, that kind of deal. You can also watch it on our live stream. So, and you can also drop us a note. We'd love to hear from you. News at ncwlife.com is our email address. You can also use our Facebook page and our homepage, our website, to get a hold of us as well. Going to take a break, come back with sports. You're watching Mike over Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Leavenworth Oktoberfest. Fall is in the air and so is the aroma of sizzling bratwurst. It's time once again for the Leavenworth Oktoberfest. Enjoy 3 full weekends of fun for everyone. Your thirst will be satisfied with a variety of authentic German beer, and your hunger will be filled with German brats right off the grill. The sounds of Oompa will be delivered in 4 venues with live non-stop entertainment. For more information or to purchase tickets, go on to LeavenworthOktoberfest.com.
Come see how very different you will feel in your Bullfrog Spa.
We're back on this Friday, 22 minutes after the hour, the ever-widening world of sports. You know, they say it's better to be lucky than to be good, and the Seahawks were a little bit of both, actually, last night. Very exciting, entertaining game. The final, Seattle 30, Los Angeles 29 at CenturyLink Field. Of course, the late Paul Allen was inducted into the Seahawks Ring of Honor in the pregame ceremonies. Maybe he provided one more breath of wind in Seattle as the potential game-winning field goal for LA missed just wide right with 11 seconds remaining. Seattle clawed through 5 lead changes. They went ahead on a 12-play, 75-yard, 7-minute drive. That's when Russell Wilson found Chris Carson on a 5-yard touchdown throw to take a 30-29 lead, 2.5 minutes remaining. Wilson had a great night last night. He was really good, 17 of 23, 268, 4 touchdowns. Seahawks improved to 4-1. Pete Carroll, head coach of the Seahawks, said he was blown away by the tenacity of his team to hang on and come through.
But there was some stuff that was really amazing tonight. I thought Russell played one of the best games I've ever seen him play. I just have never seen him have so much, speaking of magic, in him. All of the plays, all of the plays that he came up with his legs, running for one, but also not just to get out of trouble, but to find the receivers and make the throws, just one after another, after another, after another. The extraordinary play to lock. And honestly, I still haven't seen it. I didn't get a chance to see it yet. Everybody's just raving like it's one of the best catches they've ever seen. But it also is one of the best throws that's ever been made, if that's the case, because there was just like, there was no room for error. But I just thought Russ just stole the show tonight. He just did so much, and it's really kind of been on top of what he's done to start the season off in a great fashion. So really fired up for him and for our team, and our guys were really excited to just be able to cheer for him and in that way tonight.
Now, as far as Russell Wilson was concerned, he was quick to credit his teammates to provide the impetus for yet another comeback win.
I left it on the field. I left it all out in the field. Coach and I were just talking about that. It was one of the best, I think. I think, though, guys were making plays like crazy tonight. Offensive line did a tremendous job against a very, very good defensive line. They gave me time. They gave me opportunities. We found guys down the field. We made plays. Chris Carson ran the ball unbelievably well. My O-line did great there. And then DK Metcalf on the deep post. I mean, that was pure perfection on that. Tyler Lockett, the toe tap. I mean, it doesn't get any more on time and on the money with his footwork there and just the play that we've had to make. And today was special. And then we had a few other plays. Defense was great. Defense kept battling. We kept believing, even to the last little second there. And then on the 4th down in the red zone, or the play that we hit Chris on, you just kind of stepped up and scrambled, and I was about to take off and run. And out of the corner of my eye, kind of on my peripheral, I see Chris. I'm like, oh, popped it to him, and I didn't notice he bobbled it. I was like ready and celebrating already. But that was pretty amazing. So it was a great game. It was a Seahawks-Rams NFC West matchup. Last year it came down to the wire too. And so it was just, the crowd was incredible. I mean, it didn't get any better than that. So it was special tonight.
Now the Seahawks get to rest a little bit. They're off until October 13th when they travel to Cleveland to take on the Browns. We got a high school football coming up tonight on the NCAA Live Channel. We'll be in Kashmir. The Bulldogs host the Omak Pioneers. Omak, they're 4-0. They didn't have to play last Friday. It was a forfeit from Orville. Orville said they just didn't want to put their kids at risk by playing a much bigger Omak team, and I don't blame them. Kashmir, they're 3-1. They lost last week to Cheney, 22-15. They turned the ball over 5 times, by the way, in that contest. Tonight's game is going to feature the inaugural Hall of Fame inductions featuring former coaches Bill Elliott and Jack Collins. Now, Brian Bremer is in his second year of coaching at Kashmir. He's only the 4th football coach in school history. He says that's a rather daunting responsibility.
100% I'm aware of the tradition and the history of that. It's hard not to. Again, when you're sitting in an interview, whatever it was, 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, and they're saying, well, we've only had 3 or 4 football coaches here in 50 years. It's like, whoa, really? It's a pretty special place, and it draws a pretty special person, pretty special crowd. So happy to have my name along that list and hope I can do everybody proud.
Eric Grandstrom and Grant Olson with the call. 6:45 pregame, 7 o'clock kickoff right here on the NCAA Live Channel. As far as the Wenatchee Panthers, it's their very first road trip of the year. They don't have to go very far. They're going to Moses Lake to take on the Chiefs. Coach Scott Devereaux says even though the Chiefs are struggling, it would be way too easy for his team to let off the gas. And, well, it's a trap game, really.
I talked to our guys today after practice. I wasn't really happy with the way we practiced today about what a trap game is and how we were set up for it. We have 3 starters possibly out, and we didn't practice well today. And, it's a first road trip. It's their homecoming, and it's Moses Lake. And, so we talked about what needs to be firing correctly for us to be successful down there Friday. And I expect Moses Lake to come out and play their best game of the season. And that's what I told the guys. They're going to play their best game of the season. And are we? That's the question mark. So it's game 5, and we should see another big jump as far as improvement goes. And that's what I expect to see.
By the way, the Panthers will be without one of their standout players, Riley Coons, who's bound for Harvard. He's pretty banged up. He's going to be out for the foreseeable future. They're also dealing with some other injuries. Kickoff at Lions Field in Moses Lake for the Panthers, 7 o'clock tonight. The Eastmont Wildcats, of course, they're undefeated. They're 4-0. They're on the road as well. They're going to be in West Valley to take on the 1-3 Rams. Eastmont coach Michael Don says he's excited to finally get into conference play after going undefeated in non-league games.
Always play us tough every year. It doesn't really matter. It goes from 2 years ago, nail biter here. They scored with 17 seconds to go, and that ended up being the game that kept us out of the state playoffs. And last year they played us tough, even though we felt like we were a lot better at the time. But they stayed in it and they played hard. And we expect the same thing this year. Their coaches do a great job, and they got some talented kids catching the ball, and they got a good solid quarterback who's been throwing it 30+ times a game. And so it's always scary when a team can do those things.
Eastmont and West Valley again down there in Yakima. Kickoff is at 7 o'clock. The rest of the schedule for tonight across the gridirons. Chehalis at Okanagan. Cascade will host Cheney and Caribou Trail League play. The CWAC has Ephrata at Othello. Quincy's at Wapato. The North Central Washington B League, you got Brewster hosting Manson, and Elmira Cooley is an Ediat. To the Les Schwab scoreboard from soccer last night. To the pitch we go. Cascade edged Okanagan 3-2. Kashmir beat Pateros 9-0, and then they beat Omak 8-0. Quincy blanked East Valley 4-0, and Ephrata was a 5-0 winner over Wapato. That's soccer. Let's talk about volleyball. Wenatchee swept Eisenhower 3-0. Quincy sweeping Toppenish. Ephrata sweeping Grandview. Okanagan topping Cascade. Omak down Kashmir, and he had swept Easton. Everybody into the pool. Wenatchee, no real problems with their rivals from Yakima. This was down in Yakima. They swept Davis and Eisenhower in girls swimming, 134-42 and 123-49. So we got high school sports tomorrow. Full schedule that's going on. We'll start out with soccer. Manson travels to Omak. Cascade hosts Kiona Benton. Chehalis at Wahluke. And then at 1 o'clock at Leave off the field at the Apple Bowl is Wenatchee hosting Eisenhower. Girls volleyball, Eastmont continues playing in Phoenix at the Nike Tournament of Champions. Bridgeport is at Waterville Mansfield. Wenatchee is on the road at Central Valley, and Wilson Creek will host Manson. Again, that's volleyball tomorrow. Tomorrow at 10 o'clock, Wenatchee and 7 other schools will run cross country at Eisenhower, Kashmir, Eastmont, Moses Lake, Quincy, and 4 other schools will be up in Leavenworth for the Leavenworth Ski Hill Invite. That starts at noon. The Wenatchee Wild are playing in Penticton. It's the BCHL Showcase this weekend. They got Salmon Arm today at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and then Penticton tomorrow night at 7. On the college football slate this weekend, Central Washington is in West Texas for a 5 o'clock kickoff. Eastern plays at Sacramento State. They'll be going at 6 tomorrow night on ESPN. Number 15, Washington, will be down on the farm taking on Stanford. The Cougars have the weekend off. Walker Bueller, and two relievers held Washington to 2 hits. The Dodgers looked really good, 6-0. They shut out the Nationals last night, game 1 of the National League Division Series. Max Muncy led the way offensively. He went 2 for 3, 3 RBIs. Gavin Lux and Jock Pederson added some power with solo home runs. Game 2 tonight on TBS. Much different story in Atlanta. This is a great game. St. Louis won a 7-6 contest, a wild 9th inning. The Cardinals broke a 3-all tie with 2 two-run doubles by Marcell Ozuna and then Colton Wong. Then in the bottom of the 9th, Carlos Martinez of the Cards gave up a home run and then gave up another home run, but St. Louis held on for the victory. Game 2 of that series this afternoon, 1:37 on TBS. And finally, the American League Divisional Series gets underway today. Tampa Bay will be at Houston, 11:05 this morning on FS1. At 4 o'clock this afternoon, Game 1, the Yankees and the Twins from the Bronx in New York on Major League Baseball Network. And those are just some of the games that people are playing on this Friday. Wow, this show is flying right by, 32 minutes after the hour. The obscure holiday of the day today, I had a bunch to choose from. It's World Animal Day. It's National Vodka Day. Not going there. It's National Manufacturing Day. It's National Body Language Day. Surprisingly enough, although it's National Golf Lovers Day, I decided not to highlight that. Nope, because today, the 4th day of October, is National Taco Day. There you go. You like it in a soft tortilla shell? You like it in the hard shell? You can put anything in it. Rice, beans, meat, chicken, fish. Fill it with lettuce, guacamole, tomatoes, onions. Everybody agrees tacos are delicious. I don't think I know anybody who doesn't love tacos. Tacos go back to the 16th century. The Aztecs, at that time, of course, inhibiting the vast majority of the Mexican province, was kind of the inventor of tacos, so I'm told. Mexican immigrants brought tacos to the southwestern part of this country in the 19th and early 20th centuries. By the time 1920 rolled around, you think taco trucks are a new thing? Taco trucks date back to the 1920s. Again, very popular in the southwest portion of the United States. And of course, it began to spread all over the United States. And every new Mexican restaurant that was opened up during this time period would bring their own little variation on tacos to kind of set themselves apart from the crowd. Today, Americans, and just Americans eat 5 billion tacos a year. That's a combination of tacos sold at restaurants, tacos made at home, tacos purchased at chain stores. 5 billion tacos a year consumed by just Americans. And by the way, of those 5 billion tacos, 2 billion of those tacos are sold at Taco Bell. Happy National Taco Day. Guess what I'm having for lunch, by the way? You guessed it, a hamburger. No, I'm kidding. I'm having tacos. 34 minutes after the hour, today in history. You'd think that the United States Golf Championship would be held in the summertime, but the very first USGA Championship, what we call now the U.S. Open, was held actually on October 4th, 1895 at the Newport Country Club in Newport, Rhode Island. Horace Rawlins, who was an Englishman, won the very first U.S. Open. It was only 36 holes. He shot a 91 and a 82 to win the very first U.S. Open Men's Golf Championship. It was held on this date 124 years ago today. And that's exactly how I dress when I go golfing, by the way. October 4th, 1927. Guess what that is? You have any idea what that is? That's Mount Rushmore, before it's the Mount Rushmore that we know of today. Yep, it was 92 years ago today that Gutzon Borglum and his crew began the process of sculpting Mount Rushmore. It took them 14 years, 6 years of the actual carving out. If you took all of it together, it was just 6 years of actual work. The other 8.5 years were delays because of bad weather and, quite frankly, no money. They kept running out of funds. Each president was originally supposed to be depicted from the head all the way down to the waist, but again, they ran out of money there, and they just said, out of heck with it. You're done with it. Thomas Jefferson, and there's photos of this. Thomas Jefferson was originally started on George Washington's right, But after 18 months of carving and dynamiting, they realized that the granite was not suitable, and so they blew up Thomas Jefferson's face, and they moved him over to the other side of George Washington. That's gotta hurt. Mount Rushmore, they began that project 92 years ago today. 62 years ago today, boy, the talk about changing the planet. The space race began. Nobody knew this was gonna happen, and the United States freaked out. Sputnik 1, the very first artificial satellite to orbit the Earth, was launched in the Soviet Union. Once it was up and orbiting and they knew they had a success, the Soviet Union told everybody, nah, 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 we beat you to it. And this really began the space race. If there's one singular date, it would be this date, October 4th, 1957, 62 years ago today. By the way, Sputnik 1 is gone now. It was up there for a while and then it burned out. How many satellites are rotating, orbiting around the Earth as we speak? I checked this out. There are currently 4,987 satellites in orbit around the Earth, and that was the first. And finally, 52 years ago today, October 4th, 1967, there's a ticket. The Boston Red Sox, St. Louis Cardinals, Game 1 of the 64th World Series at Fenway Park in Boston. The reason I bring this up, because the 1967 World Series was the first World Series in 18 years that didn't feature either the Yankees, the Giants, or the Dodgers. That was a remarkable run of success for those three teams. Happened on this day back in 67. And finally, we got some birthdays. The pride of Delaware, Ohio is our very own Caitlin Heddersheet. Not this guy. Rutherford B. Hayes, we always do presidents. Rutherford B. Hayes was born in Dayton, Ohio, the hometown of our very own Cat. He was born in the state in 1822. He was the 19th president of the United States. Pretty much forgotten today. You know, you don't see Rutherford B. Hayes on money or anything like that. He was elected in the famous disputed election of 1876, which was so convoluted, I can't get into it now. Numerous presidents before Rutherford B. Hayes were lawyers, but he was the first president who was a lawyer who actually graduated from law school. And my favorite fact about Rutherford B. Hayes, 7 U.S. presidents served in the Civil War. Rutherford B. Hayes was the only one who was wounded, and he was wounded multiple times in the Civil War. Our 19th president, Rutherford B. Hayes, born in the state in 1822. Can you imagine that kind of beard running for election today? That ain't gonna happen. Charlton Heston, the American actor, guns right advocate, if you will. Was born in the state in 1923, died of Alzheimer's at the age of 84. The Ten Commandments, Ben-Hur, El Cid, Touch of Evil, which is a fantastic movie, my favorite Charlton Heston movie, Touch of Evil. And of course, Planet of the Apes, Charlton Heston, born in the state in 1923. Anne Rice, who's made a lot of money writing books called The Vampire Chronicles. Anne Rice is 78 years old today. She struggled and struggled and struggled, and then boom, she found the mother lode with The Vampire Chronicles. Happy 78th birthday to Anne Rice. And one of the great managers in baseball history, Tony La Russa, is 75 years old today. He was inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame in 2014. 3 times a world champion, once with the Oakland A's, twice with the St. Louis Cardinals, 4 times the manager of the year. Happy 75th birthday to Tony La Russa. It's 38 minutes after the hour. Mike McNally has got an opinion. He's going to share it with you here in just a couple of minutes, and then my conversation with Dory Foster and Lisa Melvin. Dory's with the YMCA. Of course, Lisa's with CASA. They got a big event tomorrow. It's a fundraiser at Walla Walla Point Park. That conversation coming up. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, Friday edition on the NCW Life Channel.
Happy fall and goodbye summer, Wenatchee Valley. Yahoo! Collins is celebrating with a 70% off our red check sale. Tops, jeans, dresses, slacks, sandals, etc. All at 70% off. Many sale items can be worn this fall, and we have a great selection for winter trips to warm weather. So many fall fashions are arriving daily, from French dressing, cut, Liverpool, Lassie, Nick and Zoe, Joseph Ribkoff, Tommy Bahama, Heron Kane, Habitat, Icelandic, etc. Come on into Collins, where fun meets fashion in downtown Wenatchee.
Bring the whole family up to Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house in historic downtown Chelan. Applewood smoked brisket, street-style tacos, and our award-winning barbecue rubs and sauces. Our meals pair perfectly with our exciting lineup of craft ales, made right here in Chelan. We've got room for big groups, or give us a call for catering. So grab the kids and check out the fun at Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house located in the heart of Chelan.
When you call Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, you get 35 years of experience and customer service in the Wenatchee Valley. Dick's friendly staff strongly believe in repairing before replacing and service all major brands of HVAC units. Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning is your local, independent, trained comfort specialists, proudly serving all of North Central Washington. Call 884-6444 today.
Travel enhances your life in every way. Let the travel professionals at Journey Travel and Tours help you plan that dream vacation. Don't leave the important details to those nameless, faceless online agencies. At Journey Travel and Tours, our goal is to build relationships that last a lifetime. And when you do need help, we have a 24-hour helpline that is routed to one of the agents in our office. When you think travel, think Journey Travel and Tours. It's where your journey begins. Like us on Facebook, and you could be one of our monthly winners.
After 21 years at the Lake Chelan Mailboxes store, Jerry and Sherry are ready to retire. Jerry and Sherry would like to thank everyone and give some lucky person a business opportunity. That's right, you could own a great small business in Lake Chelan with a proven track record. This includes FedEx, UPS, and USPS services, making it a unique offer. For information on buying Chelan mailboxes, call Jerry or Sherry, and while you're there, wish them well.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog McNally, and everybody's entitled to my opinion. Now, the Clinton weapons ban, which ran for 10 years beginning on September 13th, 1994, only applied to weapons manufactured after the date of the ban's enactment, and it expired on September 13, 2004. The act also included a grandfather clause that allowed the possession and transfer of weapons and ammunition that were lawfully possessed on the date of the enactment. Okay, all right, I know. I mention this because many folks think school shootings will be reduced or deterred by a reenactment of this type of weapons ban. Did a ban like this actually have any effect on deterring school shootings? Well, that depends on what you read. This is Mike Mad Dog McNally, and that's my opinion.
The Cottage Inn has been a Wenatchee Valley landmark since 1940, making it one of the longest-running locally owned restaurants around. And it's better than ever. Steak, seafood, and their famous homemade desserts for dinner, wonderful lunch items, and breakfast on Sundays, all made from scratch and at an affordable price. It's no wonder the Cottage Inn has been so popular for over 75 years. Enjoy a fabulous meal today at the Cottage Inn on Easy Street in Old Station.
Being able to support yourself and your family is an important part of who we are. We all need to know we're able to provide ourselves with a secure future. Some job seekers have a harder time finding work. That's why Goodwill's Employment Connection Center is here, a free walk-in job search assistance program designed to help people find work. When you shop at or donate to Goodwill, you're really being a job creator, and that's a good thing for everyone's future. Goodwill, there's more behind the store.
Transform your windows with a variety of colors and styles like the Allure Transitional Window Covering by Lafayette Interior Fashions. Hi, this is Darren with Mini Blinds and More. We can install the latest and greatest in technology to open and close your blinds with only a touch of a button. From the largest windows in your home to room darkening shades for the bedroom. From stylish shades for your entertainment room to custom blinds for those hard-to-fit places. We have a solution for all of your window covering needs. We offer a variety of window coverings from Lafayette Interior Fashions. Call us today. We are Mini Blinds and More, your local blind store.
Cosmetic surgery and treatment is the most personal of decisions. It is also a field that's evolving at an incredible pace. Dr. Jones, board-certified plastic surgeon, understands that once you arrive at the decision to enhance your appearance, you'll want proven, safe, state-of-the-art technology. You'll find this at Valley Plastic Surgery, delivered by an experienced and caring staff. Dr. Jones and his staff are ready to welcome you.
And we are back here at Wake Up Wenatchee Valley and on the NCW Live channel. We love the YMCA. We love CASA, Court-Appointed Special Advocates, and we love it when they team up together and do some really cool stuff. And that's exactly what's going to be happening on Saturday at Walla Walla Point Park. To my immediate left is Dory Foster, who is the CEO of the YMCA. I wonder if I'm going to talk like this. And Lisa Melvin, who is the Executive Director of CASA, Court-Appointed Special Advocates. Both have been on the show before. They are back. We drug you in here. How are you?
Good.
It's good to see you. It's good to see you. Just to give me a quick update, we'll start with you, Lisa. What's going on with CASA lately? You guys, I always ask you, are you busy? And I want you to say no. We got nothing going on.
No, that's unfortunately the case, but we are celebrating our 25th anniversary this month.
Okay.
25 years in the Valley, and just really excited to honor our volunteers, but also the community and how they've supported our program all these years.
And the other CASA type organizations throughout the Washington State and even all over this country have kind of used the Wenatchee CASA template as the way to go. It's the way to do it. It really is.
We represent every child.
Yeah, it really is. What's new down the street, Dory?
Oh my gosh, what's not new? Well, our biggest effort right now is on our new teen outreach initiative.
Okay.
And so our Youth and Teen Center that has been open for the last 15 years will now be only a teen center. So ramping up for that and partnering with various 4 or 5 other agencies in the area to provide services, and we're excited about it.
I always love it when I walk by the Y, and I walk by the Y on a regular basis, and you see all those kids in there, and they're just having a really good time.
Yeah.
Just, it's obviously, the first thing I think of is this is not a glorified babysitting service.
Oh,
This is something a lot more than this.
Yeah.
Kids get a lot out of it.
It's
they
fun.
really do.
It is.
Let's talk about Saturday, Walla Walla Point Park.
Yep.
We're raising money. We're having fun. What are we doing? Who wants to handle the first part of that?
I will.
Okay.
Yeah. So Hike for a Cause, we're calling it 5,000 Steps for 5,000 Kids. It's our second year. Collectively, we serve about 5,000, or we're ramping up to serve 5,000. We're 4,400 and you're over almost
Over
3,
200,
right?
yeah.
But the point is to bring awareness to both of our organizations, what we're trying to do, and we're trying to get kiddos involved and families involved to support other kids that need help.
Yeah.
So that's basically it in a nutshell. Our sponsors make this this opportunity available for everybody at an extremely low price to participate. But AmeriGroup and Molina Healthcare have been 2 10-year partners of ours.
Kudos to them.
I know,
Yeah.
right? So it's just a lot of fun and some awesome prizes.
Awesome. And we'll get to that in just a little bit. This is the same one last year that was held up at Saddle Rock, right?
Correct.
But of course, right now Saddle Rock, the trail is closed because they're getting rid of arsenic, which I'm told is not very good for you.
Yeah.
So when did you know how long in advance that you weren't going to be able to have it?
Actually, a year in advance.
okay.
Yeah, the city told us that they would probably have to undergo the changes.
Okay.
So we changed it up, but we also realized that, climbing Saddle Rock isn't, for everybody, and this is. So you can hike, you can bike, you can, ride your roller skates, whatever you'd like to do. You can do the whole trail, you can do just a little bit. We'll have stations at 5th Street and Pybus from Walla Walla and back, prizes for costumes. We have some trivia along the way. If you guess right, you win prizes, things like that.
I love it when we can say second annual because the first one did good enough that we can do it again.
Yes.
Yeah, and that always makes me feel really good. It's at Walla Walla Point Park is the start and finish line.
Correct.
It's not a competition.
Nope.
Although there's always people who want to be first anyway. That's just the way it is. And the best thing is you can just show up, right? This is the most important thing. There's no pre-registration or any of that stuff. All you got to do is show up and say I'm in, right?
Exactly. Yes, we'll be there to take your registrations. It's families are $20 and adults are $10 and kids 12 and under are $5.
And you get some stuff too, right? You get some swag for
Yep.
yeah.
You get some swag. You get bandanas and wristbands and other stuff to take away with you. But you can also register today online as well. You can go to either one of our websites. It's all linked right to our homepage, and
pretty simple.
it's a super easy process. Yeah.
And the weather is going to be pretty good.
That's what we hear.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
I'm guaranteeing good weather.
Oh, well, thanks, Dan.
There you go.
Appreciate
No, it's
your
going to be
efforts.
a
Yeah.
little cool, but that's fine. But the sun's going to be out,
Exactly.
and
Be a
October
beautiful
weather
day.
is fantastic. Fantastic.
And
It's
we
gonna
don't want people to forget their pets too, as long as they're on a
Yes.
leash. And there are prizes for best pet costume as
Yes.
well.
Yeah.
So, and speaking of the prize list, you want to go through this, Dory? Because this is, why don't you do the honors of, these are the
Yeah.
things you can win.
Yeah.
You can flat out win in on Saturday?
All right, so 4 tickets, the main level of the 2020 Mariners game, home game. Eastmont.
$372 value.
Yeah.
Wow.
Eastmont Lanes gift certificate, Wenatchee Wild tickets, Campfire gave us a basket, Bluetooth speaker, gift certificates to, what is this? Rain? Okay.
Rain Football Club.
Yeah. Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
4 passes to Mopop in Seattle.
Yep, the old Experience project right there next to the Space Needle.
$50 gift card from Ivars. Am I saying that correctly?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
A 3-month youth membership and a 3-month family membership. Seahawks signed football by the coach.
How did you get that?
We asked.
Really? It was as simple as that? The next thing you know, football
we
showed
actually
up?
asked for tickets and they gave us
said-
a football
Yeah, they
instead,
gave us
but
a
that's
football
almost
instead.
better, right?
Yeah,
So now
you know
don't
what?
have
I would
to-
actually take a Pete Carroll autographed football. That's
There
what I
you
would
go.
do.
Well, it's worth
So.
$100.
And these
so-
are do you buy, like, is it just for showing up and being a part of it? And I mean, how do you win the prizes? I guess,
Yes,
is the
and
question
we
for
also
it.
have raffles going on,
Okay.
so you can increase your chances of winning with the raffles.
Because if you don't buy a raffle ticket, you can't win,
That's
right?
right. Some of these are also towards the costumes contest that we're having. Like, for instance, the pet costume is going to win a $25 gift certificate to Firehouse Pets. So,
Was it really hard to get all these people to donate all these items? My
No.
guess is it's
No.
pretty
Not at all.
easy.
Oh gosh,
Not at
again, our community is just supports us so well. So yeah.
yeah, it really is just a matter of asking.
Yeah, and I'm just so glad this is happening again. I really am pumped. So you guys are going to split this proceeds right down the line, 50-50, right?
Yep. Right down the line.
So,
Yep.
and I'm not going to ask you what your goal is, because your goal is to get as many people there as possible. So 10:30 registration. They start at 11:30, and you can walk as far as you want to. You can walk 10 feet, turn around, and go back.
We're going to have the raffle giveaways and more things going on at 1 o'clock. So if they
Okay.
wrap up by 1, back at the pavilion, we'll be good to go. But if not, they can walk all day if they want.
Sure. Now,
And obviously the trail is wheelchair accessible too.
Yes.
So
Right.
for
Yeah.
people
The
that
whole family
want to
can
come
Do you
down.
have to be present to win these prizes if you go down and buy a bunch of raffle tickets? Do you have to be there to get them?
No, we'll
So-
we'll take your money any which way you want. We'll take your name as well. So we'll call you if you win.
Yeah. Give
Would
us
you
your phone
prefer-
number.
Would you prefer people to register online just to make it easy
Sure,
for
makes
you
it
guys?
easy for us, and we know
Yeah.
what to expect, and make sure we have enough swag for everybody.
Okay.
All right.
Did we get everything in there? I keep,
think so.
I don't get to see you ladies often enough,
I know.
which bums me out. You need to come down here more often.
We'll
you really
brag
do.
about our
You really do.
organizations anytime
How's
you
the
want us to.
how's the aquatic center remodel going?
As far as I know, we don't
Yeah.
have a date, but again, we're just facilitators for that. We're operators. So
Right.
what we're hoping for is at the very least the start of the new year.
Does it put an extra strain on the pool at the downtown?
Oh
one?
yeah, we're cranking. We're cranking, and we've done a really good job to try to get some water-based into land-based exercise, so nobody loses a step during the shutdown. So
That's good.
yeah, but I hear it's going well.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody, we love the Y. Everybody, we love CASA. We love it when these two get together. Again, it is this Saturday. Tomorrow, you can walk, you can bike, you can skate, you can roll in a wheelchair, you can whatever it is that you want to do, and all the money goes to CASA and the YMCA. What's the timeline on making the YMCA Kids thing, the Teen Center? Is
The
that
Teen
happening?
Center, at mid to late October.
Okay.
Our teen coordinator is coming in November 1st, so we're hoping it'll be rocking and rolling. We're going to start in the school districts, in the middle schools, and then high schools, build some trust, get a task force together, tell us what they want, and we'll provide it.
And if you're curious at all about joining the Y, just give them a call. They'll give you a tour. They'll walk you all over the place. It's a beautiful building.
Yep.
It really is. It's a historic building as well. Anything you want to add, Lisa, while I have you here?
No, just thank you. Again, I just want to thank the community support for these last 25 years.
Yeah. And again, the weather will be perfect.
Yes.
I'm on record as saying that. Now I'm in trouble. Lisa Dory, and seriously, I mean, you got to come by more often. All right, enough of this.
Will
Every
do.
once in a while, come by and see
Will
me.
do.
That goes. You both have an
Okay.
open invitation to come by and
Thank
see me
you.
whenever
Excellent.
you
I
want.
appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
All right, you're going on the list.
All right.
So there
All
you
right.
go. You're watching Wake Up in Anchi Valley. We will be right back.
My name is Brian Thorpe. I own Global Car Care in Wenatchee and have been here for about 25 years.
Brian started Global Car Care as Brian's automotive alternative on Orondo Street.
Some customers were following Brian since Brian's automotive time.
No, we're just grateful to be part of this community. This is where I grew up. We want to do our part to be a valuable part of this community. We want to thank you for trusting our business for 25 years.
I have a hereditary bone disease from the female side of my family. My bone loss was so significant that you could almost see the roots. I became embarrassed and I started covering my mouth. Eating became very difficult as far as I stopped eating apples, corn on the cob, things that you just eat as it is without utensils. Dr. Divis was my dentist prior to having implants. We talked about traditional dentures or implants, and implants was the only way really that I could go. John Divis and all of his office staff, they checked on me throughout all the processes. I would never go anyplace else. Today, I can eat corn on the cob. I can have apples. Thanks to Dr. John Divis and his staff, I have my smile back. I feel more confident. I am me again.
This is John Divis. Let our team help you solve your dental needs.
You don't have to be a member to enjoy the view and dine-in style at Highlander Bar and Grill in East Wenatchee. Open 7 days a week, Highlander Grill offers breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Dine in or take it to go, our friendly staff is here to serve you. Reservations recommended for Friday night's prime rib dinner. Call for live music dates. Hi, I'm Shalane, site coordinator for Highlander Grill. Give me a call to schedule your event today.
And we're back here live from Studio 9 in downtown Wenatchee on this fantabulous Friday, the 4th day of October. Look at the sun getting the job done. It's been up for just about an hour, and my sources tell me that the sun will be up most of the day today. I like to hear that. Let's take a look at that all-important weather forecast, including what we have coming up this weekend. Today, partly sunny, partly cloudy, depending whether you're an optimist or a pessimist. It's your choice. That 61-degree mark, excuse me, is below normal. Again, we hit 60 on Thursday. We were in the upper 50s most of this week. We've now gone 7 consecutive days with our high temperature below normal. Not only below normal, but actually well below normal. We're supposed to be right around 69 or 70 this time of the year. So as you can see, we're not even going to get to our normal afternoon high until we get to Monday. But as far as the sunshine is concerned, it's not looking too bad at all. So mixture of clouds and sun. We're going to err on the side of sun because we like the sun. And a high of 61 degrees. Mostly cloudy tonight, 45 for the overnight low. Now tomorrow morning you're going to wake up with some cloud cover, but it's not going to take very long for those clouds to depart. By the time we get to mid-morning on Saturday, we'll have some sunshine. Won't be looking too good by Saturday afternoon. Lots of sunshine for all you outdoor enthusiasts. We got no problems with that. And a high tomorrow of about 62 degrees. Clear skies expected Saturday night. Going to make things a little bit cooler. 42 for the overnight low. We wrap up the weekend on Sunday. Lots of sunshine. They were thinking maybe a little bit warmer, but they're backing off that just a little bit. They're thinking more like around the lines of about 63 degrees for the afternoon high on Sunday. There's going to be a weak high-pressure ridge that's going to build over the area. It really starts on Saturday afternoon. It's going to last through about Monday afternoon. It's going to flatten out on Monday. So 71, hey, no problems with that. But Monday is going to be the inverse of Saturday. We talked about tomorrow. We'll have mostly cloudy skies in the morning, then gradually the sun will come out. We'll have quite a bit of sunshine on Saturday afternoon. It's the opposite on Monday. We'll have quite a bit of sunshine in the morning, and then the clouds will thicken up Monday afternoon as that high-pressure ridge begins to flatten out. And that means there's going to be a storm system that's going to drop down from the Gulf of Alaska late Monday night into Tuesday. And that's going to make things, well, a little on the interesting side. We'll cloud up on Tuesday with a mixture of clouds and sun, but we do have a slight chance of some rain on Tuesday, especially Tuesday morning, and a high of 61 degrees. And that cold air coming down from the Gulf of Alaska is going to be hanging around next week. Lots of sunshine on Wednesday and Thursday, but again, those temperatures are below normal. Outside of the forecast high of 71 on Monday, all of those temperatures that you see for our afternoon highs are still below normal. We've been off to a very cool start for the month of October. Hey, coming up on Monday's edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, we're going to get a sneak video preview of the big My Sky exhibit, which opens today at the Wenatchee Valley Museum and Cultural Center. We're going to be down there with our cameras to take a look at this really cool exhibit that's going to be up for quite some time, but you want to check that out. That will be a Monday show, provided the show wasn't canceled. Until then, take care and bye-bye.